about 20 cars a year probably, so what's that, 560?
Wow.
But I've worked on like 60 cars a year for almost 30 years, so I mean, that's 1,800 cars, something like that, working on. I'm Bud McCalla. I'm 81 years old and been married 58 years. I guess I grew up with cars and mechanics. My father did mechanical work. I learned to drive sitting in my dad's lap probably when I was 5 or 6 years old. My dad never had time to teach me mechanics, so I didn't know, but I must be in the genes because I kind of followed him. Everybody only had one car in those days in the 60s, and so there was no need for the lady to drive. Generally, the man would be there driving the car. So a lot of widows in the church didn't know how to drive. So one man, in fact, he was on his deathbed, one of the elders in the church, and I said, "Can I teach your wife how to drive since you have a car here and you can't drive anymore?" And he says, "Not until I die." So I taught her afterwards, and then by that time they had sold the car they had. Well, if you're going to teach someone to drive and they don't have a car, you have to get a car for them. So that's how I got started getting cars. People would give me a car and I'd fix it and give it to the widow. One widow I taught she was 70 years old when she wanted to learn how to drive. So it took me 2 hours a day for 3 months to teach her how to drive. And she drove for another 25 years. I got a job actually as a mechanic. For 6 months I fixed cars for Action Olds in Livonia on Plymouth Road. I'd come home at night and work on cars for people, free. And I was working all day and all night on cars, and I said, well, I don't need to do this and get paid for it. I've got a retirement from my teaching, so I can just spend all day fixing cars for people. So I started working full-time fixing cars and helping people. This is wood ramps to drive a car up. I can push a car up on a tow dolly with this car. So I could load up a car myself. I got all the tools. Come over here, I'll show you some more tools. Or when we work on a car in the street, we have to have a lot of tools. So I just took out tools to go in a junkyard and take a part off yesterday. So I got all the tools here. Everything's kind of a mess from the winter. We've been just taking them out and throwing them back when it's below freezing level. But I got jumper cables, all kinds of stuff, tools in there, oil, everything. I've been doing it 28 years now, doing free work for people with cars, full time. Most I was working with, started out working with Crisis Pregnancy Center, and I did that about 10 years, and then I started, helping other people. A lot of missionaries, a lot of their kids, and they put an ad in their paper that if anyone had cars. So there was a point where I was getting 50 cars a year given to me by people from AAA. And I had no place to put them, so I had to work on the street wherever they were, fix them and give them away right away, or sell them. We always felt then that ladies needed to have some investment in the car so that they would take care of it. If they got it all free, they'd just think they could get another one free, Well, then the government said that if you charge someone for a car, you can't give a tax deduction to the person that donated it. And so I thought about it and I said, well, we might as well just give the cars free to people because God gave us salvation free. And that's surely worth a lot, so eternal life. So I decided to give cars free then. But now, this year, it's interesting, they changed the law again. And so most people now, I just had a person, he said, well, I can't get a tax deduction next year. Could you buy the car from me for $175 or $200? That's what I can get for junking it. So I buy the car, fix it up, and give it away. This year I've had 5 Toyota Sienna vans that I've been able to fix and give away. They were all from 16 to 20 years old. This is one I've just given away. And you can see it looks pretty nice. So some families, they have to choose between medicine, food, or oil changes. They usually don't do the oil changes, so I do it for them free. So try to keep oil changes, tires, brakes. Have you changed your oil?
You just changed it for me.
Oh, did I? Well, yeah, when you're doing cars, you end up moving people as well. You end up helping them whatever way you can, actually. It's just, God has been so great to me. I want to help other people in service for Him. You know, it's my worship to God, really. People can help by donating the cars. We will even buy the car from you and fix it up if you want to sell it cheap. What else can people do? I'm 81 years old, so I need, and my partner's 80, and he had to quit. So we kind of hire a person to come in a little bit now to help us do mechanical work. But we need help if someone wanted to maybe do this business when we retire from it.